Hello everybody, this is Napa Fan here, and we are here at Road America, and we are back with the regular weekly events in the Haas IndyCar Series and the Chick-fil-A Cup Series. Had a great weekend last weekend in North Wilkesboro for the James and Dean Wicker Judah, but now it's time to focus on the championship for the IndyCar Series and the Chick-fil-A Cup Series, and for the first time this year, we're going to have a dual qualifying video. So, what you're seeing right now is qualifying for tomorrow's Kohler Grand Prix, and then when we're done with the Haas IndyCar Series, we're going to get the Chick-fil-A Cup Series out on the racetrack and qualify them for Saturday's Storm Bowling 375K. So a joint weekend between the IndyCar Series and the Chick-fil-A Cup Series here at Road America this weekend, and I'm really looking forward to seeing what we're going to have here around this 4-mile road course in Elkhart Lake, Wisconsin. We've been coming here in the Chick-fil-A Cup Series since the first season, one of the longest running tracks on Napa Fan, and it is going to be one heck of a race tomorrow and Saturday morning for the two events this weekend. And I'm really looking forward to this weekend because I'm going on vacation this weekend. So, the time you guys are seeing this, I'm still at home. I'll be leaving on Saturday to go down north of Richmond, so looking forward to that. Kind of get away from everything for a while. It's been a long time since I've had a, well, actually it hasn't been that long, because we went to Pocono, met Marty up there last August, but been a long time since I felt like I've had a vacation, so I'm looking forward to it. Gonna be fun, and yeah, I don't know if I'll be on at all next week, this coming week, but we'll just have to see. Here's the Indianapolis 250 champion of Audra Baranowskis coming across to start her first lap. We're going to give these guys 10 minutes instead of 5 like we normally would have because the track is just so long. Of course, Audra Baranowskis winning that Indianapolis 250. I believe the points leader is still Richard Kingard, but by only 6 points, I do believe. Not 100% sure on that. I don't actually have the points with me right now, and I should have gotten those before I started recording qualifying here, but I do know that it's a very, very tight championship in the Haas IndyCar Series coming into this race, and going to be interesting to see how it all goes down. This is the 10th race of the season. After today, we're only going to have ourselves 6 more races left and only 5 more venues because we're going to have dual races at Watkins Glen. We're going to return the duel at Watkins Glen this year. So it's going to go to Chicagoland next weekend, and then 2 weeks from now, Pikes Peak, which is one of my favorite ovals that we go to in the Haas IndyCar Series. I believe 2 weeks from then, it's Canadian Tire. The week after that, it's Watkins Glen for 2 races, and then the finale at the Pocono Raceway for the Haas World Championship 100. And the championship's still up for grabs for a lot of these guys here in the Haas IndyCar Series right now, so we'll have to see how it all goes down for him. Here's Jordan Lopez. He's out on the racetrack right now. Number 59 machine of Jose Mills is also on his flying lap. The number 60 of Landon Lyons. I don't know if he was on prior to this or not, but we'll see as these guys cross the line here to complete their laps. Audra Baranowskis will be the first driver to complete a lap here under qualifying in the Kohler Grand Prix for the Haas IndyCar Series. So we'll have to see what she can clock in officially. We're expecting times, some of the fastest times to be about a minute 52 here at Road America. Minute 53.976 for Audra Baranowskis, and I believe the times will get faster as the session goes along. Of course, Jose Mills clocked in a pretty slow time there, mainly because he had to deal with Julio Cesar coming off there. Micah Knapp looking pretty fast in number 5. And this is a road course, of course, so starting up front means quite a bit towards how well you're going to finish. Richard Kinghart's now the fastest guy. They 1:53.46. So we're going to go ahead and see the points here. Officially give you guys the point standings. After the Texas race 2 weeks ago, that was one wild race that was won by Thomas Troxel. Thomas Troxel right now is somewhere on the racetrack probably. I believe all the guys are on the racetrack at this point. And the good thing is it's a very big course, so these guys can get their times in pretty well. Somebody off there, that was Dion Moon. But yes, I am right. Richard Kingard does hold a 6-point lead ahead of Justice Idell. But we have a new third-place guy, and this really, and I mean really, surprised me He moved up 12 positions after winning that race at Texas. Thomas Troxell's now the guy third in the championship standings, only 51 points behind. Now, given that's a full race victory and the pole, but it's still very reasonable distance now for Thomas Troxell to possibly steal this championship. He's going to need a good run here at Road America to stay in contention with King Art and Zidell. Davey Johnson is 53 points behind, and then Christopher Alphaby, the Auto Club winner from earlier this year, winner of the first Crown Jewel event, 54 points behind. So I don't know if anyone else is really going to have a chance this year at the championship, but I got to say, this Strict Points championship that we have here in the Haas IndyCar Series has really been exhilarating, with the way Zidell pulled away initially and the way Richard Kingart came back and took the points lead away from him after the Indianapolis 250 without any of the races being double points. So we're not doing any double points races this year. So that really makes it interesting, because it's all about where you finish in each race and not about what race you finish in. So we'll have to see where Justin Zidell qualifies for this race, but right now it's not looking the greatest. Actually, he did clock in at 1:53.55, which is now 8th fastest. Not too shabby for the number 10. But Richard Kingart just went to 7th, and now Keyshawn Richardson, the fastest driver. And it's Keyshawn Richardson and Christian Russell, now Al Lagasse on the outside pole. Now, the pole sitter actually starts on the outside here at Road America, so you might not necessarily want to start on the pole. You might want to be the second fastest guy here in qualifying. Keyshawn Richardson looking to make a pass on Justin Zidell, and you know what? He's going to do it. Might be getting a little practice in to see if they can make passes on this racetrack. We're going to see a little bit of passing, I think. It's going to be an interesting race. Going to be similar to Riverside, I think, where they can make passes, but the passing for the lead might end up coming from guys who make mistakes. Noah Clifton is second. Noah Clifton has won here before in the Haas IndyCar Series, so no surprise to see him there, second fastest. And Nathan Faden, third fastest right now. Number 19 with a fast time there. That is Edgar Barreto, who just went to third. So now it's Keyshawn Richardson, Noah Clifton, Edgar Barreto, Nathan Faden, and the 20 machine of Al Lagasse. Then Thomas Troxell with a good time in 6th. Jonathan King in 7th. Christian Russell in 8th. Nick Smith in 9th. And Audra Baranowskis, Indy 250 champion, 10th. None of the times have actually hit 152 yet, so I'm a little bit intrigued by that. Justin Zidell 17th right now, Richard Kingart 15th. They cannot get any closer in this championship, especially with those guys starting as close as they are to each other. We could have a tie for the championship lead heading into Pikes Peak. Or sorry, excuse me, heading into Chicagoland next week. Pikes Peak is after Chicagoland. Next race in the series is Chicagoland, which is next Thursday night right here on NAPA-FAN. Night race around that mile-and-a-half racetrack. As a matter of fact, that and Richmond might be the only 2 night races of the season for the Haas IndyCar Series. Yeah, they are. So not many night races for these guys, but we're going to get one next Friday night. Going to be a fun one. And it might be a fun race tomorrow for Keyshawn Richardson, as he just put himself into the top position. Number 98 of Cody Smart is now 3rd. He moved his way up there, so good run for Smart. But I think Nathan Faden has some other ideas. Faden to the top of the board, and the number 21, he's now the fastest guy in town. And the pole sitter, remember, gets a bonus point towards the championship, and Faden is one of those guys who's right up there, about 50-some points behind. Actually, I think he might be 60. No, yeah, he's about 60-some points behind, but he's still up there. He's 6th in the points coming into this thing. And every point matters in this series, especially considering there are no double points races. So Faden looking to get that bonus point. How about Christian Vargas taking the 2nd position away from the number 3 of Keyshawn Richardson? How about Jordan Lopez taking it away from all of them? Lopez now in the pole position. 1:52.895, the first time under a minute 53 here at Road America. And when we get to the qualifying for the Cup guys, they will be going slower than these IndyCar machines, so that's going to be interesting. Going to be a 10-lap race tomorrow for the IndyCars, and a 12-lap race for the Chick-fil-A Cup Series Saturday at 1 p.m. Eastern Time. Not Saturday morning. What am I saying? It's going to be Saturday at 1 when that race premieres. Storm Bowling 375K. But we got the Kohler Grand Prix tomorrow at 5 p.m. Eastern, and I'm telling you, I'm looking forward to this race because Road America is a great track. This race has gotten better every year we've gotten here. I know last year was interesting with John Andrews winning the race, and it could be interesting this year because we got some really good guys running up front here in qualifying. We're going to be starting up top. Jordan Lopez is a guy I don't think he's ever won before in the Haas IndyCar Series, surprisingly. This is his third straight season driving the number 14. I'd love to see this guy get a victory in this series. He's never done it before, as far as I know. Now, I'm probably completely wrong about that, but you gotta watch out for that guy. Jordan Lopez looking pretty fast on number 14. And Lopez did good last week in the James and Wicker shootout, at least in his heat race for the late model stock class. So, kind of got a little bit of experience there. I mean, this is something completely different from what we had last weekend with the James and Wicker shootout, but either way, it's still looking pretty good for Jordan Lopez here. Of course, he won in his first career Napa fan start, and of all the guys who did so, other than Jesse Turner, of course, I think Lopez has been the most successful, one of the longest-running drivers on Napa Fan, who was able to do that. Won the Thanksgiving 500 2016 in his first ever start on the channel. Still 30 more seconds left on the clock for these guys, and that's what 10 minutes does. We want to make sure all these guys have the ample opportunity to clock in a time. I believe everyone has clocked in a time. Of course, Dion Moon did not clock in a good time. We saw him go off the race course earlier on. He might be a flying lap right there for him. I don't know. It might just be starting one, but he's not going to have enough time to get a faster one in. And the number 14 of Jordan Lopez will be starting on the pole position tomorrow for the Kohler Grand Prix. Race number 10 of the season for these guys. And that is how it will line up for tomorrow's race. I don't believe we have any ties. Kind of hard to get a tie on a road course, and we do not have any, so that is how they will line up for tomorrow's 10-lap event here from Road America in the Haas IndyCar Series Kohler Grand Prix. Congratulations to Jordan Lopez for winning the pole position. Let's go ahead and get the Cup guys on the racetrack here so they can begin their qualifying session. We're going to go ahead to Uncharted qualifying, and for this weekend and this weekend alone, only one driver makes it in because we're only going to have 41 starters for the race Saturday at 1 p.m. So keep that in mind. Only one of these Uncharted guys makes it on, and they're only going to be on for 5 minutes here. So let's see how it goes down. Let's get the qualifying going for the Storm Bowling 375K here from Road America. And we are back here at Road America, this time for Chick-fil-A Cup Series qualifying. This is for Saturday morning's Storm Bowling 375-kilometer race, and this is Uncharted qualifying. And this is the only Uncharted qualifying session throughout the entire season where only one driver is going to advance on. So only the fastest guy advances on. This race starts 41 drivers instead of 42. So it's going to be interesting to see who makes it in here. And nobody's going out yet, and they only have 5 minutes to get around this place. Nick Smith in the number 71. He's going to go ahead and be the first driver out on the racetrack. Colton Yo close behind him in the number 98. And this is a tough place to qualify. It is a very long racetrack, and it's going to take about 2 minutes for these guys to go around. Of course, these guys go slower than the IndyCars went earlier on. You see there Nick Smith in number 71, going to be the first driver to complete a lap. Got Colton Yo right behind him, Stephen Thompson. And remember quite vividly that this was the car that qualified for this race in Uncharted qualifying last year when Casey Hoffman was driving the machine. It's now Stephen Thompson, who, by the way, won something. He won the Hers Elimination Series feature on the James and Dean Wickard shootout. So congratulations to him on that last weekend. That was exactly 1 week ago, actually, that he did that in North Wilkesboro. Daniel Voiles in the number 31. This is one of my favorite camera angles that we have on the entire circuit, is when they're going down the long back straightaway after turn 2 into turn 3. We really get a good focus on these cars, and it's just really neat to see how close up these guys are on the racetrack. But right here, we'll see it with Zachary DeLello in the number 67. It's just cool how close-up of a view you get, and it's not a bad close-up either. A lot of racetracks, they have some camera angles that they're like zooming into the car like way too much. That is one camera angle right there that I actually like because of the zoom in. It is one of the best ones in my opinion. You got Julio Cesar, and then Christian Russell out, and then Angel Oliveira, and that's everybody. Nick Smith going to be the first driver to complete a lap here at Road America. This is the first road course race of the season for the Chick-fil-A Cup Series. It's been a while since we've had a road course race for these guys. As a matter of fact, last time we had a road course race was last August at Watkins Glen when Luke Rainey edged out Blaine Keys on the final lap of the race. So it's been a long time since we've had a road course race in the Chick-fil-A Cup Series. So it's going to be an interesting one. And where you start for this race on Saturday morning is going to be critical. I keep on saying Saturday morning. It's Saturday at 1 p.m. Eastern. That's not in the morning. We used to do the races in the morning, and I'm still not used to doing them in the afternoon on Saturdays, and I don't think you guys are either. But either way, Nick Smith and Colton Yeo, they're going to get out there. They're going to start their laps. Of course, there will be plenty of time for them to make it through because there will be added time after the session is done here. You got the number 97 of Stephen Thompson now clocking in, or beginning to clock in, I should say. Daniel Voiles in the 31, Zachary DeLello. Now this is one that could get interesting, Christian Russell and Julio Cesar. Because Russell is right behind Julio Cesar here, and he could possibly interfere with Cesar's lap or vice versa. So definitely going to want to watch for this one as their times come through. And then Angel Oliveira, the final guy, who's going to be in the IndyCar race. As a matter of fact, a lot of these guys are going to be in the IndyCar race. Oliveira, Russell, Cesar. Colton Yeo's going to be in that race. And Nick Smith's going to be in it too. So 5 of these guys are going to be racing after this here. There's a good chance that one of them could be in the event. Whoa, Nick Smith, a little wide through the carousel. And we're hearing that we could see that a lot in the IndyCar race coming up here in less than an hour. That is going to be an interesting one with these guys, and the IndyCars go much faster around this place than these Cup cars do, so you got to watch out for the carousel. It is definitely the troublesome spot on the racetrack for these guys, and you see those guys overshoot the corner quite a bit there, but I got to be honest, I love this track. It's one of my favorites in the entire Chick-fil-A Cup Series circuits. Not some of the best races we get in the Chick-fil-A Cup Series, but it's just such a neat-looking racetrack. 4 miles long, great camera angles. And we'll have to see who gets it done Saturday at 1 p.m. Eastern right here on Napa Fan for the 17th race of the season. After the summer break, actually. We haven't raced in 2 weeks in the Chick-fil-A Cup Series, so going to be interesting to see how it all goes down. So Nick Smith is not going to make it in. Colton Yeo with a 2-minute, 2-second, 4.36. We'll have to see if Stephen Thompson beats that in the number 97. Thompson is going to go to, we'll have to see, where is it? Is it going to update for us? Not sure about that. We got 2 guys who are going to clock in right here, clock their times in. But they're not going to the leaderboard. That's strange. So is it even going to clock them in with these guys that they get out too late? I mean, everybody waited. And they did get out too late, so it's going to be Colton Yeo who makes it in, because only 2 drivers got a time. Oh boy, a little bit of a mishap right there. They waited too late, and Colton Yeo gets to make it into the Chick-fil-A Cup Series at Road America. We're just going to go ahead and go with that, because what's the point of making a 10-minute session if we're just going to pick one guy? Like I said, it's kind of like a randomization, and that was very unique. I remember we did not have that issue last year, but everyone got out earlier last year. This year, nobody went when the clock started. So Colton Yeo going to be in the race. He is the only driver who advances on. Nick Smith does not make it in because only the first and fastest guy in the session makes it on, because we're only starting 41 drivers in this race instead of 42. All the pit stalls get pushed back because that first pit stall does not work too well, and the guys actually tend to hit the inside wall there coming off the pit lane. They're in that first pit stall, so we actually moved all the pit stalls back, and we lost the pit stall because of that, so that's why only 41 drivers start this race each year. But Colton Yeo in the show. The number 98, let's go ahead and get the other 40 full-time drivers on the racetrack and qualify for the pole position in the Storm Bowling 375K. And here we go to set the starting lineup for the first road course of the season in season number 8 of the NOFSRL Chick-fil-A Cup Series. Storm Bowling 375K Saturday at 1. I'm looking forward to Saturday. Like I said, going on vacation, and I could be seeing the Cars Tour. Yes, the late model classes. That's Saturday night, so I'm looking forward to that. Very possible, and if I do, I'll share it with you guys, like I share it with the Dover vlog. But either way, we're here at Road America to focus on Chick-fil-A Cup Series action. First time in 2 weeks these guys have been on the racetrack. Of course, they're actually going to have a gap day between qualifying and the race, because tomorrow is the IndyCar Series race, and I actually mentioned in Uncharted qualifying the IndyCar races today. I'm completely wrong about that. We're actually doing qualifying a day before everything here from Road America, so yeah, that's how it's going to go down. But either way, Nathan Baird, first driver out on the racetrack, pretty fitting. He's the first driver in points. 473 championship points for Nathan Baird coming into this race. He's the only driver so far this season to win multiple races. And Kinghart Family Racing has done an excellent job, I should say, this season with that number 40 team and rookie Nathan Baird. Nathan Baird looking to become the first rookie driver to win a Chick-fil-A Cup Series championship, and it's very, very possible this season could be the first season with a rookie champion, because 4 of the top 5 guys in points are rookies. That's Nathan Baird, Emily Anderson, Mark Davidson, and Sebastian Coulon. The only veterans, Justin Roberts, in 4th, 53 behind Nathan Baird coming into this race. Roger Ray, Ace Garcia, the winner of this race last year in that number 81 machine. Actually getting a run on Roger Ray and finding a way around him there. So these guys might be going a little bit faster this year than they have been in prior years. They got a little bit more grip in the acceleration and the deceleration. We'll have to see how it all goes down for him as this race goes along to on Saturday, I should say. But Justin Roberts is here as well, like I mentioned. He's top 5 in the points coming into this race. He won at Richmond earlier this year. Had a great race there at Richmond. Actually led every single lap, but he's the only driver so far this season to lead every single lap and win a race. So, you know, Justin Roberts is good this season in that number 38 machine. There's Daniel McMillan in the number 75. McMillan almost won this race in season number 6, but he barely lost out to Isaac Nichols. Pretty sure that's how it went. I think Nichols won that thing, and McMillan finished 2nd. Yeah, because McMillan missed the chase that year, but he probably would have won the championship if he had made the chase. There's John Andrews. John Andrews comes into this thing 6th in the championship standings. He's won an IndyCar Series race here. It was actually last year when he won it. Silas Order, rookie driver right there. There's Fisher G in the 6. Mitchell Henderson in the number 25. Of course, it's development driver to Stuart Grattan. Grattan's won a Turkey Hill Series race here before. There's Josh Marzak, who has never won a race outside Daytona or Talladega. But I'll have to see if he can pop one in. Diego Yepes there in the number 92. How about the number 3 machine of Tristan Allen? I'll have to see what he can do in this race. There's Brad Stover. He's won already this season at Rockingham. Doing pretty good in the points coming into this thing. There's Christian Master in the 7. Master looking to break a long losing streak. There's Trey Bartow, winner of North Wilkesboro about a month ago. Been doing pretty decent in the point standings coming into this thing. And there's Matt Dallio in the number 79. If I'm not mistaken, I think Dallio's won an IndyCar Series race here before. Julius Anderson in the 22. Garrett Sinors won a Turkey Hill Series race here before. This could be a big race for him. Been doing pretty good in the championship standings. Had a rough race, however, at Michigan in the NOFSRL 500. But he's got a good chance at putting on a good show here at Road America this weekend. There's Alexander Rowe. He'd love to turn things around in his Chick-fil-A Cup Series career. Of course, his rookie season, he won 3 races, and he has not won since that last race he won in Season 3 at Rockingham, UK. Emily Anderson comes into this race 2nd in the championship standings. 20 points behind our points leader Nathan Baird. Nathan Baird, the only driver yet to complete a full lap under speed. There's Riley Spurley, Nicholas Samadio in the 48. Don't think Samadio's ever won here before. I have a feeling that he has, though. I think I'm getting him confused with Caleb Hoffman the one season Hoffman was in the 13 machine, because I think Hoffman won here in Season 3, driving the number 13, which was Samadio's traditional number before we went to custom cars here. Patrick Smith in the 66, Carter Friesen in the 68. Number 13 is Sebastian Kukulon. Kukulon, 63 points behind coming into this event this weekend. Nathan Stapleton in the 28. Wyatt Quayle. Matthew Phillips drove the 33 last year. Wyatt Quayle in the number 33. Jesse Turner in the number 77 also there as well. And have to see what Turner can do this weekend. He's been having a very struggling season with fellow veteran Matt Dallio, his teammates of the Outer Island team. They have definitely struggled. And it's tough to see Turner and Dallio struggle the way they have after how legendary they used to be in this series back in the day. There's Matthew Phillips, mentioned him earlier on. He got a feature win in the James Lee Wickard shootout last week. There's Andrew Ross in the 35. Seth Cole in the 83 machine, our defending race winner here in the Chick-fil-A Cup Series. Right now, Wyatt Quayle has the fastest time here in Storm Bowling 375K qualifying. Here's Cody Sill. This guy really needs a good run. I believe he's 40th in the championship standings coming into this thing. This has been one of the worst seasons in Cody Sill's career on Napa Fan. And he just seems to wreck out every single race. 64, Lucas Jacobson right behind him. Andrew Miller in the 47. Zachary Fitzwater in the 9. John Art, who was a 19-time Napa Fan winner, won at Pocono 2 races ago. Michael Cantor right behind him there in the number 12. And how about Nathan Baird? I think one big reason why Nathan Baird is the fastest guy here right now is because he is the first driver to complete 2 laps, and I think the second lap is faster than the first lap here. McMillan up the second now, and we're going to see these guys clock in their second laps faster than their first laps. Here's Jonathan Skimnick. He won in Martinsville earlier this year. I do not want to turn on sticky keys. What happens when you hold the shift button, and that's a very annoying thing about Windows. So that's why he had a little bit of freeze right there. But there's Sergio Larvin Alonso. He really wants to turn things around. It's been a tough season for him in that number 30 machine. You got Mark Davidson, winner of the Coke 600 earlier this season. 46 points behind Nathan Baird coming into this race, and there is Nathan Baird in the number 40 with Yepez, the fastest guy right now, in the number 92. So we'll try to find him. There he is for Full Frontal Motorsports, the number 92 team. Yepez won at Auto Club earlier this year. And Yepez has definitely had a great season up to this point. Actually, not as good as last season. He was very consistent last season, but he's been one of the better drivers to come on Napa Fan in recent years. How about Patrick Smith taking the pole position away, or at least the provisional pole away from Diego Yepez, a 2:1:02. Almost under 2 minutes and 1 second. Almost. Matt Dallio's 6th right now. Sebastian Kukulon up to 4th. Nathan Baird still 3rd. You cannot stop Nathan Baird. I just don't know what these guys are going to do this season, but Baird is the guy to beat in the championship. And he's going to call it a day. Seth Cole to 3rd in the number 83. He clocked in a really fast time. He's going for 2 races in a row in that number 83 machine for Hamill Racing Enterprises. We'll have to see if he can do it. It's Patrick Smith, Diego Yepez, Seth Cole, Nathan Baird, Sebastian Kukulon, Michael Canto, Andrew Miller, Zachary Fitzwater, Daniel McMillan, and Cody Sill, the top 10 fastest right now. Actually had a lot of guys who went through there and clocked in really fast times, including Cody Sill's now in the top 10. Dallio's 11th, John Art 12th, Wyatt Quayle, Ace Garcia, Jesse Turner, the top 15. But Patrick Smith with the fastest time right now in Storm Bowling 375K qualifying. Of course, these guys coming down, they might try to get fresh tires to clock in a fast lap, but they're definitely not going to have enough time to do that. And a lot of guys calling it a day here in qualifying. Going to be content with where they're starting, I guess. There's Patrick Smith looking to win the pole. Now, the thing is, you start on the pole at Road America, you actually start in the outside lane, which is a little bit interesting here at Road America. So, Patrick Smith's going to have the better arc in the turn number 1, but he's not going to have the shorter way around turn number 1. So, Yepez might actually be at an advantage for starting on that inside lane. But either way, do not believe that Patrick Smith's going to be denied. Going to add time right here so guys can complete their laps. A little bit of contact there on the pit lane. So if you start your lap now, you're not going to get your time in. I learned that in uncharted qualifying. And that was a tough one there, and there's the guy who actually made it through uncharted qualifying. He was one of two guys to actually start their lap before the clock ran out. Colton Yo, number 98. The only uncharted driver in this race. Of course, only one uncharted driver making it into the Storm Bowling 375K, mainly because these guys tend to have a little bit of an issue on that first pit stall. So last year we moved all the pit stalls back one. Nobody uses the first pit stall, but we lost a pit stall because of that. And like I said, because of that, we can only start 41 drivers instead of 42, because we do not want anybody being in the first pit stall, because they tend to hit the inside wall there off of the pit lane, so it can be a bit of an issue for these guys. It happened in, I believe, Season 4. Annie Thomas was on a roll back then, and she ended up leading a majority of this race, started on the pole, and she had the first pit stall, and on one of her pit stops, she ended up hitting that inside wall, and what on earth is Colton Yo doing? Oh, brother! Hope we see some of that on Saturday. That was interesting right there. This is in qualifying, and they're making 3 wide moves in the Canada corner. I guess Colton Yo's getting ready for the IndyCar race tomorrow as well. He's the only driver in this Chick-fil-A Cup Series race that's going to be in the IndyCar race too, so getting ready for the fast speeds that he's going to be driving in. But how about that? That was something else right there, and Alexander Rowe got the best of all those guys. And I believe these were the final guys to really clock in time, so no change, which means that Patrick Smith will win the pole for the Storm Bowling 375K. And the top 4 drivers starting in this race have all won this season. And like I said, where you start here, Road America means quite a bit. And it looks like Patrick Smith is going to have that advantage on everybody, as he will be leading the field of the green flag. I mentioned that camera angle right there. Absolutely love it. Really get a nice high-definition view of these race cars. There's Julius Anderson in the 22. Love to see Julius Anderson get something done somewhere around this season in that number 22 machine. I don't think he's ever won before in the Chick-fil-A Cup Series in his second full-time season. But I'll have to see how it all goes down for him as the season goes along. It is Patrick Smith on the pole here at Road America. And that is how they will line up for the Storm Bowling 375K on Saturday at 1 p.m. Eastern Time right here on Napa Fan. Take a look at the rest of the results right there. And Josh Marzak, the slowest time. He was the only driver to go under, or should I say over, 2 minutes and 1 second. But I do not believe we have any ties, so no ties to break right there. And everybody clocking in a time here in Road America qualifying. That is how they will line up for Saturday's, excuse me, not tomorrow, for Saturday's Storm Bowling 375-kilometer race. Patrick Smith on the pole. We'll see you guys on Saturday for the 17th race of the season in Season 8 of the Chick-fil-A Cup Series. And we'll see you guys tomorrow at 5 p.m. Eastern for the Kohler Grand Prix in the Haas IndyCar Series. I will see you guys later.